This is Roadhog Randy. Wherever Randy goes, he thinks he is alone on the road. Whether he's driving, walking across the street, or riding a bicycle. Don't be like Roadhog Randy. In Colorado, drivers, pedestrians, and cyclists all have the same right. The right to share the road. The City of Littleton Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan was kickstarted in January 2011 by a grant from Tri-County Health Department. The Community's Putting Prevention to Work grant provided funding for planning, public engagement, and the implementation of programs and infrastructure improvements that encourage walking and bicycling in Littleton. The plan was created by city staff and a team of professionals from OV Consulting. The City of Littleton Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan was developed using extensive community outreach. 2 stakeholder focus group meetings consisted of local residents who regularly use the current system of streets and multi-use bike paths. 2 public open house meetings presented ideas and took comments from a cross-section of citizens. An online survey was conducted on the City of Littleton's website. The survey gauged the importance of walking and biking and gathered suggestions for improvement. Several Littleton Public Schools principals were visited by the consultant team to assess the current walking and biking conditions, as well as to formulate an improvement plan and back-to-school safety kits. One of the most important steps of formulating the master plan was to evaluate the current state of pedestrian and bicycle systems in Littleton. Sidewalks and street crossings were looked at from a pedestrian point of view. On-street bike lanes and bike routes were recorded from the perspective of cyclists. Along with public input, the data recorded on current conditions were used to create the plan. Littleton has a well-developed off-street multi-use trail system maintained by South Suburban Parks and Recreation. The Mary Carter Greenway, Lee Gulch Trail, Highline Canal, and Big Dry Creek Trail were included in this master plan as existing assets to which the new designated bike lanes connect. Downtown Littleton, the light rail stations, and the Buck Center are some of the other destinations included in this plan. The Littleton Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan's purpose is to encourage people to walk and ride their bikes more often by making it easier to get around Littleton safely. Based on public input and the findings of staff and consultants, 4 measures have been taken to improve bicycle and pedestrian safety and functionality in Littleton. This movie was created to make citizens aware of the improvements, to take safety precautions, and to encourage everyone to share the road. Sharrows have been placed on many streets, creating awareness of designated bike routes. The city has installed directional signs that point out important destinations and safer routes throughout Littleton. An activated pedestrian crossing like this one will be installed on South Prince Street to provide a safe crossing for pedestrians. One of the most important parts of the Littleton Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan was the development of improved bicycle routes and maps. The latest map is available on the city's website at littletongov.org. The plan includes a 92% increase in marked designated bike routes within the city of Littleton. Along with maps, cyclists and pedestrians will see route and destination signs to let them know what route they are on and where it goes. Drivers will also know to expect bicyclists on these roads. The new bike system is set up as a grid with numbered bike routes. Even numbers go east and west, odd numbers go north and south. You'll notice that every neighborhood in Littleton is just a short distance from a numbered bike route or an established multi-use trail. Connectivity is the key concept to the layout of the new Littleton bicycle system. Using a combination of the map and signs, a cyclist or pedestrian can plan a route to just about anywhere in Littleton. The bicycle plan is also part of a regional system. As you can see here, Windermere Street is labeled L7, but as it crosses into the city of Englewood, it changes to E7. Englewood's bicycle system map, route signs, and destination signs will guide you from there. You can also use the Mary Carter Greenway, which turns into the South Platte River Trail to go to downtown Denver and beyond. It is all easy to get to using the new Littleton bicycle system. Many of the bike routes in Littleton have existing bike lanes. Bike lanes are designated by solid white lines on the right-hand side of the road. Many of these have a bicyclist marking. Most of the bike lanes exist where the speed limit is 35 miles per hour or higher. Dedicated bike lanes are 4 to 5 feet wide, and shared bike lanes that include motor vehicle parking are 11 to 12 feet wide. When using a bike lane, there are a few things to keep in mind. Always travel in the direction of traffic. If you are riding in a group, ride single file. Remember, a bike lane is considered a dedicated traffic lane for bicycles, so you must follow the same traffic rules as you would in a car. You've probably noticed the new road markings in your area. They're called sharrows. The name sharrow is a combination of shared lane and arrow. The chevrons above the bicycle indicate the direction of travel, always with traffic. Sharrows are marked on streets that are too narrow for a bike lane or where the posted speed limit is 35 miles per hour or less. Sharrows are meant to remind motorists to share the road with cyclists. When you see sharrows, you are driving along a designated bike route, and you should expect to see bicyclists. Along a bike route marked with sharrows, cyclists also have a responsibility to operate their bikes in a safe manner. Follow all traffic rules, including stopping at stop signs and traffic signals. Use hand signals when making turns and stops. And check traffic when making lane changes and left turns. An activated pedestrian crossing like this one will be installed on South Prince Street to provide a safe crossing for pedestrians. The new activated pedestrian crossing will provide additional visibility from a longer distance and will signal drivers that a pedestrian is in the crossing. Once the pedestrian has cleared the crossing, drivers may proceed. This type of crossing has been proven to dramatically increase safety, especially at mid-block crossings like this one. Always wearing a helmet is a good first step in bicycle safety, but it certainly isn't the last. Make sure your helmet fits properly. If you're not sure how to adjust your helmet, go to your local bike shop for help.
First thing we want to do is when we put the bike helmet on is try to make the helmet level. Okay, we don't want it to point backwards and we don't want it to point forward over your eyes. We just want it nice and level. So the second part of the adjustment would be the straps that are supposed to go right underneath your earlobe, and in kind of a V shape would be the best. And that's done with this clip here, up and down, and just want it to adjust and click like that. And that's perfect. How does that feel?
That feels good.
Okay, so both sides are done. The next thing we want to do is the tension on the helmet, and that's how tight it is. There's a dial on the back of the helmet here. Can you feel this? That it's getting tighter and tighter? Okay, so we want to make it snug enough so if you were to bend over without the straps adjusted, that the helmet won't fall off. So give that a try.
Okay.
Okay, and it'll stay nice and firm on your head. And the final part of the fit would be to secure the chin strap like this.
Okay.
And you want it just to have a little bit of room, maybe a finger or so play in between the buckle and your chin.
Do a bicycle safety check before each ride. Check your tires. Are they in good shape? Are they the right pressure? Check the wheels. Do they spin freely? Check the brakes. Are they too stiff or too loose? Check the seat and handlebars to make sure they are tight too. If you are riding at night, it is important to be seen as well as to see ahead on the road. Check the lights on the front and back of your bike. Do they work? Are the reflectors secure? The clothes you wear while riding should be high visibility and tight enough not to get caught in the bike chain. Glasses are always a good idea to keep dust and bugs out of your eyes. If you choose to ride at night, make sure your clothing has reflective properties or wear reflective strips like this one. Riding your bike safely in a world dominated by cars demands that you know the rules of the road. Ride on the right. You don't have to hug the curb. Just ride as far right as you can while being safe from debris, obstacles, and traffic. A bicyclist may take the middle of a lane if traffic is slow and the lane is narrow or there is no shoulder or bike lane. A cyclist can also take a lane when approaching an intersection. When you approach an intersection with several lane choices, choose the lane appropriate to your travel direction and follow the markings. You are permitted to take the middle of the lane. Moving to the center of the lane establishes your position and prevents motorists from passing until there's enough room. Riding predictably will make you more visible. Learn and use hand signals for left and right turns and for slowing and stopping. Don't weave in and out of parked cars. When approaching parked cars, check traffic over your left shoulder and move left of the cars. Give yourself enough space to clear a car door if it swings open suddenly. Stay in this position until you have passed all of the parked cars. When riding in a group, it is always a good idea to ride single file along a road. This gives plenty of room for other cyclists and motorists to pass. Obviously, an accident involving a car is the biggest safety concern for cyclists riding on the road. A popular website, BicycleSafe.com, posted this helpful list. Increasing your visibility with a headlight and taillight will help you avoid most of these scenarios. Motorists and bicyclists share the road and the responsibility for safety. Here are some driving tips for dealing with cyclists. Colorado law requires that drivers leave at least 3 feet between their motor vehicle and a bicyclist when passing. Be patient and wait until it is safe to pass, as you would with any other slow-moving vehicle. If you are parking in a bike lane, always check for cyclists before opening your door. And finally, look to your right before turning to avoid cutting off a cyclist. Walkers and runners also have a right to use the road. When not using a sidewalk, they should go against the flow of traffic, and they should cross only in crosswalks, not in the middle of the street. Always follow these steps when crossing a street. Before crossing, stop. Look left, right, left, and over your shoulder for turning vehicles. If it's clear, begin crossing. Continue to check for traffic while crossing. At intersections with traffic lights and pedestrian signals, it's important to follow the signals carefully. A flashing "Don't Walk" signal indicates that you shouldn't start to cross the street. However, if you are in the middle of the street and the "Don't Walk" signal starts flashing, continue walking. You have time to complete the crossing. The walk signal and the green traffic light indicate that it's your turn to cross the street, but they do not mean it's safe to cross. Always check traffic, then if it's safe, go. Colorado state law dictates that drivers must yield to a pedestrian in any crosswalk once that person is in the roadway. The Littleton community believes in having a choice in transportation, from motor vehicles and mass transit to walking and cycling for recreation and health. Your Littleton city government is working hard to ensure that all users of the road have the easiest and safest route to get from point A to point B. The city will continue to look at options to improve the bicycle and pedestrian system. We encourage you to enjoy the health benefits of walking and bicycling in Littleton. Remember, pedestrians, bicyclists, and drivers all have a right to share the road